On this episode of Lost America, America's first subway, inventor Alfred Beach dreamed of an underground mode of transportation in the late 1860s. Traffic congestion was becoming increasingly unbearable in the city. In 1860, the population of New York was around 1,068,000. By 1870, a decade later, the population grew by 35% to over 1,400,000 residents. By 1880, the population surged to almost 2 million, nearly double what it was 20 years prior. New York's central artery, Broadway Street, was particularly troublesome, so much so that Beach envisioned a railway running under Broadway. Technology in the late 1860s posed some challenges to an underground railway system. One, train locomotives burned wood and/or coal, billowing out thick black smoke that would fill an underground tunnel quickly. Electricity and electric motor technology was likely insufficient. In the end, Beach sought to use large fans to push a cylindrical-shaped car on tracks through a round tube. His inspiration came from pneumatic tubes being used in London to transport letters and small packages. During America's Industrial Revolution, corruption was rife. Before Beach could begin his project, he would have to get approval from the corrupt William Tweed. Tweed had been involved in New York state politics for years, but in 1869 he effectively took control of New York City after his protege, John Hoffman, was elected governor of New York, and some $650,000 in bribes were paid by Tweed to buy votes for a charter to restore power to New York City Hall. Tweed had power over city finances, being elected to the Board of Audit, and several of Tweed's cohorts were assigned positions of power in City Hall. Through his corruption, Tweed was hoping to profit from an elevated train that was to be built across Manhattan. Beach's subway would threaten such profits. With Tweed's control of City Hall and the governor of New York, Beach's request was denied. To sneak approval past Tweed, Beach sought to get approval of a pneumatic mail delivery system like the ones in London that inspired him, consisting of two small tunnels between Warren Street and Cedar Street. With approval for the pneumatic mail system approved, Beach began the project in late 1869, starting under Warren Street, ironically directly across from City Hall. Most work was done in the cover of darkness to help conceal his real plan. Beach would later amend the permit to turn the two separate tunnels into one large tunnel to, as he put it, simplify construction. The tunnel was completed in just 58 days. Its entrance was at the south side of Warren Street in the basement of Roger P. Clothing Store. It then made a 90-degree bend turning down the center of Broadway, ending up about 1 block south on Murray Street, a distance of about 300 feet. This was far short of Cedar Street and without an exit on the Murray Street side. It opened to the public on February 26, 1870. In its first year of operation, some 400,000 visitors paid 25 cents for the experience. With the success of his invention, Beach submitted a bill to the New York State Legislature to extend his tunnel some 5 miles to Central Park. Tweed once again foiled Beach's hopes by having New York Governor John Hoffman secured deep in his pocket. In 1873, with Tweed removed from his position of power and a new New York State governor in John Dix, Beach's dream was finally approved. Unfortunately for Beach, the financial panic of 1873 that began in March of that year put a final blow to his subway dreams. Within weeks of the onset of the panic, Beach ceased operations of his pneumatic tunnel in April 1873. It would be another 22 years until construction would begin on America's first true subway, that being in Boston in 1895. Beach died on New Year's Day 1896, surviving just long enough to realize his vision of a subterranean train was finally underway. Beach's pneumatic transit became largely forgotten until in 1912 construction workers building the BMT Broadway line dug into his old tunnel, even finding remain of Beach's pneumatic car. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Feel free to leave comments, and thank you for watching Lost America.